Okay, so I guess that's one issue is that sometimes when I try to switch to a different tab, then it gets a little wonky. So let's go and pull out a different window. And I want to see if I can share my screen correctly. So, okay, there's no share button on here, so I can't share like a window. That does kind of suck. Settings, layouts. Yeah, so I guess with the Vision Pro and Safari, I can't share my screen now. It's using the Persona as my camera. Normally, you would have like the share button or whatnot, and you could, switch to something different as far as like the layouts. But it's only going to be if I have another person on the stream with me. It's not going to be where I can show something like, hey, look at this web page I'm looking at, and yada yada such and such, or look at this news story. No, it's not. It's not line it up. Yo, what up, Mark? How's it going, man? Yo, yo, yo. But it says add item. What item can I add? Okay. That is doing a little bit too extra. And right now I'm not using a keyboard. I'm basically using everything just, with my hands. The hand controls and whatnot. So let me go ahead and put a comment in here. Okay, cool. So I can comment on here with the keyboard screen coming up and everything. Yes, this looks weird. Personas, it needs some work. It needs some improvement. Like we're in an adventure game. Yes, we are definitely in an adventure game. We're in the Matrix. That's where we're at. What do we have here? Vision Pro, Streamyard, Safari. That's what we got going on. He looks cuddly. Yes, I'm a very cuddly looking person. You and Viber should do scripts like you're interacting in a game. Yeah, we should do the script for Metal Gear Solid. We should have me on one side, Vipe on the other side. It should be like the Metal Gear Solid, calls that go on in between game, like cutscenes and stuff. Mark Sequence says, all right, time to get more Vision Pro guests on the screen. And now there's a couple of headsets in this chat. Okay, cool. Did you update to Vision OS 1.1? I should, maybe. All right, let me look because I'm not exactly sure. And make sure I have the latest update. Do I have the latest update? Nope. That's the one thing that sucks about the Vision Pro is if you set an app somewhere, like I was using this on my lunch break at work, my settings app is where my job is right now. T. Holla says, but it does look like you. It's like personal memoji. Honestly, it's impressive. Yeah, like on one hand, it's like it's cool. On the other hand, it's like as far as trying to like take pictures with it or whatever, it's kind of weird. It just blurs out my ears and my shoulders to like some weird degree. Tell us a story about the legend of your grandfather and the mystery of the man with the missing arm. Send him on a quest to try pineapple pizza. So, long, long ago, my grandfather, the mysterious grandfather that I never knew, decided to go on a quest to find a man with a missing arm. And he decided to try pineapple pizza. Yes, I left my settings at work. Like that's the drawback to it is I wish there was a mode where I could pin a window to follow me around Now, it's cool to kind of like set up different windows. Like, let's say if you work at home and you want to have like these different layouts or whatnot, that would be cool. But sometimes when you go somewhere and you don't close the apps, they're literally however far away. Like, pretty much if I like turn around and look for it, it might be somewhere around here. Tech for your needs. Yo, what's up, Lewis? All right, here we go. So, software update. Do I have the late? Okay, I need to download Vision OS 1.1. So maybe that might be the next video, is reviewing Vision OS 1.1. Yeah, we'll update it tonight. All right, that's cool. Excuse me. Yes, I agree to all the terms, blah, blah, blah. Mark Sequin says, app callback, hold digital crown down. Oh, okay, yeah. I keep forgetting about that sometimes. Like, sometimes it's like a natural thing, and I'll just be like, all right, cool. Other times I'm like, where on earth is this window? Like, where is it? Where is it? But okay. That leads me to some probably like kind of funny memes I could do with this, you know. As far as like, like the facial expressions or whatnot, because like one of the things you can do with the personas is you can record your persona and you could have a specific outfit on or a specific shirt or a hat or whatever, and it's always going to keep that look, even if you switch clothes, even if you're not wearing clothes. So yeah. What else about this thing? Oh, the weight of the headset. I'm used to the weight of it. Like, it's pretty much like if you put on a football helmet for the first time, you're like, oh, okay, I feel this, and then after about a week or two of practice, you're just like, oh, okay, well, I don't care too much about it anymore. As far as the weight, you just get used to it. Yo, home rapid repair. What's going on? So, yeah, like if this was more of instead of it being portrait, if it could be like the whole 16:9 type of view, that would be dope. This feels kind of like, just cut off. So that would be one update I would love to see, Apple do, is to like, make this 16:9 or something. Because it just doesn't look right in like this weird orientation. Now, I would like to try vertical live streaming, but unfortunately, the YouTube app isn't on the Vision Pro, so it won't be in vertical. Like right now, it's just in horizontal land. So there's that. But yeah, as far as everything else, I've been using this thing every day. Watching movies, doing different stuff in it. Sometimes I connect it to my Mac. Sometimes I just use it by itself, and just trying to test out some more apps, because pretty much there's some apps for the Vision Pro which are kind of like cool and okay, but a lot of apps are kind of like in development to a certain degree. One thing I did try, because I kind of had an idea for a video, was I was going to use the Vision Pro to measure things. And there's a couple of measuring apps out there. And the problem with some of these apps is they're either not completely accurate, or you got to fiddle around too much with them. So at first it seemed like a cool idea, and then after using it, I'm like, yeah, this. So, still kind of holding out on that. As far as some other updates, I think the NBA and a couple of other apps, which I could screen record before, and I could show people what it looked like, I think they patched it, because I tried to do like an update to like the whole Vision Pro NBA League Pass experience. And now, anytime you try to record anything or take a screenshot, it is all blacked out. Like there is nothing showing on the screen. So, pretty much to a certain degree, those two videos that I have about the NBA League Pass, about, how it looks from my point of view, how do you get 5 games up on the screen and whatnot, those will stay up there on YouTube because you can't do it anymore. Or at least I can't. Whatever update came through, maybe they saw the video, but yeah, you can't screen record it anymore, which is kind of hilarious. Let's see. Yo, Uno Nice. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm not going to be on here a crazy amount of time because it is 11:21 at night, and I should probably be getting some sleep, not some sleep right now, but um, somewhere in the mix between trying to stay current with videos and just wanting to test this out, and I haven't live streamed in a while. I decided just to go ahead and live stream. Christian says, Samsung is also working on a AR headset to be released this year in 2025. I honestly think that's dope. I'd like to see it. I'd like to try it out. I probably wouldn't be buying it because I already bought this thing, and trying to do comparisons between two headsets is just something I'm not gonna be able to do. I thought about getting what is that, a Meta Quest, and then I was just like, I'm not going to be able to cover them both, so I'll just stick to the one. But Samsung coming out with VR, cool. Like, way back when we had, I think it was the S7 Edge. I think it was. We had used the S7 Edge along with the Samsung Gear VR like headset thing or whatever. And to be honest, sticking a phone inside of a headset and using it for VR stuff was cool back then. It just didn't continue for whatever reason. I really don't know the reason why, but it was pretty dope back then. So Samsung comes out with one in 2025. Cool. Like, make the competition a thing. Let's see. Wife says, "Yep, I tried to screen record some NBA stuff last week, and it was a no go." Yeah, it's probably my fault. It's either my fault or it's Brian Tong's fault. One of those two. One of us ruined it for everybody else. Oh, okay, cool. Hey, I ain't mad at it. But you know what the interesting thing is? Here's the interesting thing. I'm gonna try this out. Let's see if this. Okay, so I'm in my bedroom right now. I am lying on my bed. I'm wearing the Vision Pro, and I'm looking at the ceiling, and this still has a direct camera angle on me. So technically, if I wanted to, I could be live streaming while laying in my bed, and nobody would know. Not a single person, which is kind of funny. Let's see. Okay, so what happened? Where's Google Glasses? Where's Google? What is Google waiting for? AR glasses should have been a no-brainer for Google, shouldn't it? I don't know. Google kind of does the Google things where they come out with something, a concept, or hey, this is going to be a whole new thing, and yada yada, such and such, and basically they cancel it. Now, I will give Google props; like they were far ahead of everybody else when it comes to Google Glass. But the sad truth is, like, to a certain degree, most things Google does in regards to hardware or concepts, they don't see it all the way through. The one thing that they've seen through consistently to a certain degree has been the Pixel since I guess like the Pixel 6. Like all of the other Pixels felt like experimentation, like the Pixel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 felt like experimenting. And the 6, 7, 8 kind of feel like they're solidified or whatnot. But everything else Google has done is just been like, oh hey, we're coming out with this, and it's gone. Like you guys know that meme that from South Park. It's just and it's gone. That's what Google has been doing. Loving the death. I was a part of Team Pixel and everything, but gotta call a spade a spade. Micah says the Vision Pro gave you a glow up. Yeah. Well, hey, look, if the personas get really good on here, let's say for whatever reason you get sick or something happens to you or whatever, as long as you can put this Vision Pro on your face and it can see your eyes, you will look like you. You might have bandage on, you might have a scar, or God forbid you woke up and you're just like, I don't feel like doing the hair or doing everything else or whatever. You can just put this on and boom, there you go. It's not just a blank picture like this, like where you just have a blank picture like this. You have the persona, which is just interactive, and it's kind of a cool thing. It's not perfect. It's still being worked on. It's still in beta or whatnot, but I've grown a little bit more accustomed to this. And I think it's something that people will kind of get a little bit more for a little bit more familiar with as things get better. Yeah. I mean, look, when I say ahead, I don't mean like it was the most amazing thing ever. What I'm saying is they were ahead with Google Glass, like they were ahead, like they were at the beginning, and then they fell off. I'm not saying that Google Glass is better than what I'm wearing right now. Jeff Hale, blessings to everyone. Hey man, thanks for coming through. Um, just out here chilling, messing around with this thing, seeing how things are gonna work out here. What I should do is at work we got Microsoft Teams. One of these days I'm gonna hop on Teams with this persona and I'm just gonna freak everybody out. Hey, Easy, what's going on? Easy had a good stream where he was streaming with his daughter. And honestly, I would hope to be able to stream with my kid one of these days. Like actually be able to sit down and have a conversation and talk about tech. Now, that is some years in the future, but definitely did enjoy the stream, Easy. But yeah, I mean, like for the most part, I'm still using the solo loop. I haven't used the dual loop at all. And it's just because I've just been lazy. Like I'm literally comfortable using the solo loop. It's for me a convenience. The other thing about the solo loop is now I'm going to do this right now so you guys can kind of see this a little bit. So right now I have the solo loop sitting on top of my head because sometimes you have to lift the Vision Pro off just to use like your regular eyes or look at something or whatever. So let's say it might be a little too dark or you can't see or whatever. I can just lift up the Vision Pro, take the solo loop, tighten it down. It can sit on top of my head and it can still be running. The issue with the Vision Pro, I don't know if I call it an issue, but one of the drawbacks is the minute you take off the Vision Pro, it goes into standby mode. And one of the things I was testing was I had LumaFusion up and I was exporting a video. And I'm like, I really don't want to I just want to take the Vision Pro off because I got to go like run outside something or like do some stuff real quick. But like on an iPad or a MacBook Pro, you can just hit render and walk away from it and go do something else and it'll still be rendering. But with the Vision Pro, if you take it off while you're in LumaFusion and you're rendering something, it will go into standby mode, and that standby mode will kill the render. So I will literally have to start the render all the way over again. So the way I got around that is if I take the Vision Pro and I move it up to the top, like part of my head, as long as it's still blocking the light and I tighten down the solo loop, it will still do the tasks and run the programs in the background. And I won't be looking through the Vision Pro. I'll just be using my regular eyes, and I can still walk around with it and carry it and be perfectly fine. So that's really the main reason why I've just stuck to the solo loop, because I know I could tighten it down and it's not going to fall off my head. Whereas like the dual loop, I have to do other adjustments and stuff. I got to worry about it falling off, and I'm not trying to do all that. Vipe says, I went, bro, I went to my work meeting today with my persona. I mean, but they were expecting that, right? Like, no one at my job is expecting this. Like, nobody. Holla Boy says, is that Joey Crack or Fat Joe? What up, bro? Lean back, my dude. Lean back. Wait, can I lean back? All right, leaning back. Okay, I'll just look high doing this. No. I can move around a little bit, but I really can't lean back too much. He just says she is my co-host on my podcast. It's such a blessing. Hey, that is some beautiful shit to see, man. That's trash. You know what, LaShawn? I got a meme to show you. When I hop off of here, I'm gonna post it on Twitter. Cause yeah, a good friend of ours said sent me a timestamp of Easy Stream, and I made a pretty good meme for that one. So be prepared. But I mean, at least the cool part about this is I could use Streamyard. I could use it for free, and if I wanted to, I could just do this. The drawback, the bad part is I can't share my screen. I can't share another window, which sucks. Because this would be awesome, because like I said, I could be wearing this, I could be walking around, I could be doing different stuff, and the audio's there, like speakers are here. I just can't share my screen. What I would really like to do, and maybe I have to figure out some way to do this, I would like to be able to wear the Vision Pro, have it tethered to my iPhone, like for the data and everything. And I would like to be able to walk around and show you guys stuff from my point of view through the Vision Pro and using the cameras. But it seems like that's going to be kind of like a tall task. Like, we're not really close to doing that at all. Michael Pepper Tech says, make you wonder if the reason Apple showed using the Apple Vision Pro with a MacBook is because Apple Vision Pro just can't keep running stuff without you wearing it. Yeah. So, well, here's the weird thing. I think that they designed it that way, because hear me out. You have the M2 chip. The M2 chip can run stuff in the background, no problem. An M1 MacBook Air can do that already. Now, if you were to close the lid, if you set it to where when you close the lid, it doesn't go into standby mode, that's fine. If there was a toggle to where I could say, hey, Vision Pro, do not go into standby when I take this off, that would eliminate that issue. You would still be able to run off of the M2, because the R1 is doing like all of the like video processing and stuff like that. But I think it would be more feasible. But it's probably something, like safety wise or whatever that Apple threw in there to where it doesn't do that. The other reason why they probably don't allow you to do that is because of the 2-hour battery life or whatever. So they're trying to preserve sorry, I had to cough. I couldn't stop it. But this probably has to do with preserving that battery life since you only have 2 hours on here. And speaking of which, I'm at 63%, so I got a little bit of time here. It would be nice if I could have it plugged in. Well, maybe I have to test that out because I didn't test it with it being plugged in. But if I could have this being plugged into power and then take off the headset fully, walk away and come back, does the render still happen? Do the apps still run in the background normally, or does it still revert to like a standby mode? Oh man, you saw it. All right, cool. Hey, because I got high. That is LaShawn all day, every day. If LaShawn needs it, if LaShawn needs an excuse, it's because he got high. Mike Peppercheck says they should have a setting where if it's plugged into a power source, more than just its battery, it will let you do something, take it off and let it run. Absolutely. That's what I would love to see. Yep. But yeah, no, going back to your point there, definitely would love that, love to see that. Um for what this thing could do. That would change the game for me a bit because let's say you put the Vision Pro on, you use it, you do some stuff and whatever, and you're like, all right, I need a break. I need to go do something. I need to go see the real world. I need to go be outside of this thing. Well, you just plug it in to power, take it off, let it sit there. It's still doing everything in the background, just like an iPad, just like a MacBook would do. And then when you come back into it and put it back on, you can still pick up where you normally did or the stuff that you was working on. Because in standby mode, you still can put it back on and then pick back up. But if you had certain tasks running in the background, they just don't automatically stop. Now, here's the thing. The tasks in the background, they stop. They don't pause. So, like I said, if I'm exporting a video, let's say from LumaFusion, and it's exporting and it's saving it to photos or whatever, it doesn't pause and then resume. It stops immediately, and then you have to restart the whole thing. See, I get they just don't want it running stuff on battery, especially if you put it in your bag. They don't want it overheating. Yeah. So another issue that came up was like somebody had took the face cover and they put it on top of the Vision Pro, and I guess somehow the glass cracked because of the heat or whatnot. I have not experienced that, but at the same time, I just use it and I take it off and I really don't think about it that much. I do have the Apple Care on it, so if that does happen, I would let you guys know, but so far that hasn't been a thing for me. What's really, really weird though is what seems to really tax the Vision Pro is one of two things. Either A, opening up more than 18 individual apps. That really starts to tax the Vision Pro, and the screen recording will cut out. Because I tried doing that, and like a couple of times the screen recording would just boom, just stop. And that seems to tax it. The other thing that taxes it is Safari, and I don't know why. Like Safari taxes the Vision Pro like Google, like 10 Google Chrome tabs will tax any other CPU out there. And it's really weird because Apple makes Safari, it should be optimized for it and yada yada such and such and such. But yeah, this is like if I put my hands above the Vision Pro right now, I feel the heat radiating out of the top of it. So, yeah. Can you pick your background? I cannot, unfortunately. The background is like Mount Hood or whatever, and like that's the default, and I can't pick it up. Well, no, I can't because if I go fully immersive right now I'm in like the whole sand dune place or whatever, and it's still showing Mount Hood behind me. So that would be nice if I could change the background, but who knows? Maybe that comes at WWDC in another update, something like that. I still got to update to 1.1 or whatnot. What else about this thing that am I thinking about? I can't really think of too much else for the most part. Like pretty much when I made that review the other day, like that almost 1 hour long review where I literally just put on the Vision Pro and walked around through the park with it and showed you guys pretty much from my point of view. It's pretty spot on. The biggest weakness of the Vision Pro is the fact that if you do not have a decent amount of light around, you will not be able to see in this. And I remember as the sun was going down and as it was getting darker, it got worse and worse and worse. And then for whatever reason, the Vision Pro was like, you know what? It's low light. Let's take these windows and move them out the way. Hey, you want to try out travel mode real quick? I'm like, all right, let me put on travel mode. Oh my God, that was the worst mistake I could have ever made. Travel mode was not ready for low light in me walking down a path. There was a couple of times where I had to take the Vision Pro, sitting on top of my head, and use my own eyes to see. Now, if I was looking through my own eyes, I could see everything clearly. Like it was dusk. It wasn't like pitch black, but it was like, dusk. The Vision Pro, however, those cameras just like, nah, we don't have enough light. This is not gonna work out. And you guys saw where the apps were literally just, freaking out because the tracking couldn't figure out what to do with it or whatnot. So I will say this again because I've said this in previous videos. Lighting, lighting, lighting. Make sure you have plenty of light when using this. If you're going to be at home and let's say like a really, really dark room or whatnot, because you just like to have things that way, get like an IR repeater or something like that because sometimes the hand tracking will mess up if you don't have enough light. If you're going to be walking around outside, be ready to take that thing off. It's not like where you put on like night vision goggles and you can see everything. Although that would be really cool if you could like attach or like have some sort of like FLIR camera in here for like nighttime. That would be dope. But for this iteration, just no, don't do it. Uh, the Vision Pro isn't waterproof where you can take it in the shower or go swimming. No, you can't. And no, pretty much there's a lot of electronics that you can't go sea diving with just due to the fact of salt water. So, what's funny is a lot of people they'll have their phones or whatnot, and they'll take their phones in the ocean, and their phones are not rated for seawater. They're rated for freshwater, but not seawater at all. So that's kind of a excuse me, an interesting thing. But no, the Vision Pro is not waterproof at all. At the top of the Vision Pro, there's two vents, and the vents are there for the fans to expel heat. And at the bottom of the Vision Pro, there's a bunch of holes, and that's for the air to come inside of the Vision Pro. So, at least the good thing is that they decided to take the air from underneath the Vision Pro, push it up into the Vision Pro, and have the fan push it out because naturally, heat rises. So, that was smart on their part. Michael Pepper Tech says, I wonder if they'll ever add the ability to have multiple users. I get that there are different size heads and such, but as long as you have multiple light seals and lenses for each person if needed, yes, there needs to be multiple users on here. Guest mode is cool if you're showing it to somebody. Guest mode is cool if you're going to show it to somebody one time and then they're like never going to use it again. Like for like demo purposes, guest mode is cool if you have other family members or if you have other people that you normally commingle with or whatnot, then guest mode is like a crutch. It's not great. Having individual profiles would be awesome. Let's see. Angelique says, "I bet they will, Michael, so you can merge recordings and both be in the same space." I want to see. There was some news about like a spatial environment for FaceTime calls or like multiple users or stuff like that. Because while most people say that the Vision Pro is quote unquote isolating, and I'm doing air quotes here, it's not isolating for the reason that people are saying. Because I could be wearing the Vision Pro and I could still be around my family and not be quote unquote isolated. The isolating part comes in is when you own a Vision Pro and you want to connect with other people that have Vision Pros. You either A, need to have iMessage or know the person, or B, you need to go to like this random social media chat type of thing or whatever that's in the app store, and that's it. Like they're like a lot of times when I'm using this, I'm like, yo, I would like to do this with other people or other people that have Vision Pros. It's like I can't. Like if you had two people in the same room with a Vision Pro, and let's say you both wanted to share the same experience, or like back in the day, like like Amazon, or like some of these apps where um you and someone else could watch a movie together even if you guys were remote. I can't do that right now. Like I would have to do some like weird backdoor methods to have that actually be a thing, and that is something that should be built into it, especially if someone else has a Vision Pro. Angelique says, "Imagine going to immersive space to have a conversation with your spouse. Meet me in our safe space." Hey, I mean, look, if you're remote, you know, that might be a thing. Vision role play. Oh man, if you could switch out personas, that would be a cool thing. You should be allowed to have multiple personas. I know this is going to sound completely weird, but like you should have like your casual persona, like, how you are outside of work. You should have your work persona, like, what you have for, work purposes and meetings and stuff, and, different personas. That would be dope. Have you played any games one on one like chess, dominoes, etc. with the Apple Vision Pro? I enjoy my dominoes game, but it's an iPad port. Yeah, like so I've done more of the AR stuff, like the stuff that's built in, like the Apple Vision Pro apps that are native. But yeah, as far as the gaming is concerned, like I played NBA 2K24, which is literally the iPad version of NBA 2K24, which on the Vision Pro is kind of weird. I got a PS5 controller and I tried playing it, and after about like 10 minutes, I was just like, yeah, I'm out. So I would like to see more Vision Pro first games. I still need to try out what is that game called? Fruit Ninja or Super Fruit Ninja. I need to try that out because that's like actually a Vision OS one, but everything else that's just iPad related, I've kind of just skipped it. Or, quote, we need to have the talk, meet me in the woods. Man, that would be hilarious. Did you notice this? Yo, what's going on, man? Yeah, like I said, just random stream, just trying to test some stuff out and talk about the Vision Pro at the same time. Michael Prepotech says, if you get kicked from someone's space because they don't want you to be there, you be persona non grata. Good Lord, Michael. Good Lord. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's still dope. Um, we've officially made it past the whole oh my god, people are returning it. What are we gonna do? We've completely made it past that part. So now it's more like um we made it past the return period. We're making it past the 1 month reviews. Now we're going into the season of, oh well, my Vision Pro just sits there. I really don't use it that much. I go days without using it. I'm like, look, man, if you go days without using this thing, you literally wasted $3,500, like straight up. I think people should have been able to figure out within 10 days, not even 11, 12, 13, 14, in 10 days, if you could not figure out if this thing was for you or not, then yeah, you're kind of up shit's creek, you know. With and the crazy part was that I was able to figure out that this was for me with the limitations that it has. As they update stuff, as they add things, it's going to get better, which is kind of an interesting take. Sorry, I have to keep coughing because um, between possibly having a sinus thing going on and drinking a good amount of vodka this evening, I'm coughing a lot. Just reflecting with all the news happening on Twitter right now. Don't know if you read it all yet. Trent, not to disturb stream. Oh, look, for this, I was going through Twitter. I was checking out Ike's Tech Talk. I was watching the State of the Union, which was um, interesting to say the least. There was a lot of incoherent talking and a lot of clapping. And yeah, it was very interesting to say the least. uh, how come we don't see you cough? I don't know. I did mute the mic so I wasn't coughing into it, but like normally when I cough, I like cover my mouth so there's like my hand over my face. So there's this. So you guys might see this if I'm like covering my face, but it doesn't show my hand. Now if I take my hand and I slowly bring it up, you can see my, oh wait, it disappeared. Oh no. So there's that. Yo, see, there we go. I'm streaming on the Vision Pro and you're watching on the Vision Pro. That is dope. Okay, I kind of lost track, but what time is it? Oh my goodness, I got to look all the way up the sky. Oh my goodness, it's 11:53. I have to get to sleep because I have to be at work in the morning. So, um, let's wrap this up a little bit. So, meet me at the mall. It's going down. I got to listen to that song again. But yeah, like I said, for the most part, I enjoy this thing. Movies are just underrated in this. If you have a Vision Pro and you have some AirPods, you are in for a fantastic fucking time when it comes to movies. Like straight up. Unless you absolutely can't bear wearing a Vision Pro or other issues or whatnot, watching movies on this is just I don't have the words. I went back and I rewatched movies that I saw as a kid and was ridiculously happy at the experience because there were movies I saw as a kid. I saw them in the theaters, and some of those theaters don't exist, and some of those movies are never going back to the theaters. And so I can either only watch them on my iPhone, my MacBook, or my TV. Watching them on the Vision Pro and having that experience is dope. Having like the whole surround sound and spatial audio and all that stuff, dope. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Equity says, "Great work, bro. Your presence and experience is appreciated. Catch you on the flip." Hey, Equity, thank you. I will catch you later. Don't know if you already headed out, but thanks for joining. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna go get some shut eye, and I will see y'all on Twitter, next video, stuff like that. Um, real quick, last couple of comments. Christian says GoPro makes waterproof cameras. Why can't Apple do the same with the Vision Pro and make it completely waterproof? Because it has fans. The GoPro cameras do not have fans. If you remove the fans and if this thing was passively cooled, then you could make it waterproof. But as long as you have fans and you have vents, no. Angelique says, try the boat ride from the original Willy Wonka on the Apple Vision Pro. If it's on HBO Max, I should be able to see it. So I will probably check that out tomorrow. Send me a reminder and I will let you know. So, all right, y'all. Take it easy. See y'all later. Adios. And where is it at? Oh no, is my meme gone?